Silver just broke through all-time highs again today, folks. Right now, October 15th, 2025, of $53.52. I'm starting to sound like a broken record because every single day I come out and say that it broke all-time highs again. I'm not complaining, you're just getting a little redundant, but there's nothing holding silver back whatsoever. There's no resistance. This is all price discovery, and it's looking like it's not going down anytime soon. A lot of people were wondering when they think silver is going to hit $100, so I did a poll on my channel. 3.2 thousand people voted when they think silver is going to hit $100, and the results are shocking. We're going to show those in a second. Right now, though, folks, we are witnessing something that we will be reading in history books. Every single thing that possibly could be happening around the world, geopolitically, economically, fundamentally, industrially, is all extremely bullish for silver. It's like all of the stars have aligned. The perfect storm is here. The floodgates have opened, and we are witnessing something that's truly amazing. All right, folks, we did it again today. Silver, all-time highs, $53.52. Day after day, continuously, silver just keeps breaking all-time highs. Right now, currently, as I record this video, it's 4:23 p.m. Eastern Standard on October 15th. Silver's at $53.03, but today it did hit a new all-time high of $53.52. We're going to be talking about something very, very important today, folks. We're revolving around the most shady, sinister, corrupt, evil person in the banking world, or in the financial world, I should say, Jaime Diamond, which is the CEO of JPMorgan, which is the shadiest bank in the world. It's gotten caught spoofing, which is manipulating the price of silver, and some of their employees are currently sitting in prison as we speak for manipulating silver's price, rigging it. So we're going to be talking about why he's predicting $10,000 gold, and there's some interesting backstory with Jaime Diamond I'm going to be sharing in a second, what he did with Bitcoin back in the day. That will give more context on when he does try to throw up predictions in mainstream media, what that means. But yeah, I also said I would show you guys the poll I did 2 days ago. I made a poll saying, when will silver hit $100? There's 3.2 thousand votes. 54% said less than 6 months. 26%, second place, around a year. 2+ years, 14%, never 5%. So the majority of people, out of 3.2 thousand votes, think silver is going to hit $100 in less than 6 months. That is very, very interesting info to really consider when you think about the implications of this. First and foremost, though, welcome. Thank you for tuning into your daily silver news. My name is Silver Slayer. If you want the latest information on what's happening across the globe and how that affects the price of precious metals on a daily basis, make sure you click subscribe and click the bell. I will sit in front of a computer screen for hours a day and do the research for you, so you don't have to waste your time doing that. And I will wrap it up in a shiny YouTube video and try to hopefully break it down and explain enough where the everyday person, even someone brand new into the world of silver stacking, can grasp and understand, what we're covering, what we're talking about. That's very important. So, Jaime Diamond predicts gold surging to $10,000 while Indian investors pay $200 over spot per kilo for silver amid global mania. Jaime Diamond, which is the CEO of JPMorgan, is a very corrupt, very evil, he's just a bad guy. How do I know this? Well, first and foremost, JPMorgan, some of their employees are sitting in prison as we speak for spoofing, which is market manipulation from silver manipulation. When Jaime Diamond came out in 2016-ish, he called Bitcoin a scam. He called Bitcoin a scam, went all over news, said don't buy Bitcoin. It's, I forget the exact terminology he used, but basically just saying, like, it's a scam, don't do it, you're going to lose all your money. When he said that, Bitcoin shot down thousands of dollars. Guess who got caught buying millions of dollars in Bitcoin right after that crash happened from Jamie Dimon? You guessed it, JPMorgan. Jamie Dimon specifically did that knowing it would shoot the price down so he could get it at a huge discount. The blockchain, well, Bitcoin, every transaction is stored decentralized on the blockchain. So there's no shade. You can't hide anything behind the scenes like a centralized bank can. Every transaction is stored publicly. So we were able to see JP Morgan doing this. Jamie Dimon is a very, very shady person. And their, actions speak louder than words. They just had to pay a $920 million fine. 3 of their employees got sent to prison, and they've been known to do this spoofing for decades upon decades, which is silver price manipulation, essentially. If you want me to explain what spoofing is, I could. I'm trying to get into actually, no, I'm going to. So just because there's a lot of new eyes into the world of silver, you could skip ahead in 1 minute, 2 minutes if you already know what spoofing is. But basically, what they do is they'll go on these exchanges and they will place hundreds, if not thousands, of buy or sell orders on the exchange of silver. So it looks like there's a mass amount of silver getting bought up. So everyone else on that exchange is like, holy crap, like, look at these numbers. But the thing is, those orders are fake. They cancel the order right before it goes through. Everyone else on that exchange doesn't know that. They don't know that that's fake volatility. So then they start investing off of these numbers that are fake. So the JP Morgan can basically just, play, they can ventriloquist these people and just basically tell them or make them do what they want by manipulating the market, manipulating the people. Actually, the people don't know that those orders aren't going to go through. They don't know that. So then they could fake this volatility, fake the volume. Well, the thing about that is you're allowed to cancel buy and sell orders. So there's a loophole there. There's a little bit of a loophole, because then if you go and question them, they'll say, well, I'm allowed to cancel these orders. But how do you catch someone? You have to look at patterns. You have to look at history. You can't do it if there's ill intent. You can't place an order if you know you're going to cancel it, right? That's the illegal part. And it wasn't until recently where a judge would just give them a slap on the wrist. But now with the $920 million fine, and you actually have the chance of going to prison, you might second guess it. Before, they wouldn't get in any trouble. Now you might second guess doing this if you know you're actually going to have to go to prison and your life is at stake, not just paying a little chump change. So that's what spoofing is. JP Morgan's gotten caught. Merrill Lynch, another bank that has the Dutch bank, has also gotten caught for spoofing. Yeah, that's what it is, if you didn't know. So now let's go into this. So reports from Sydney, Australia showing long lines to purchase gold and silver. Costco remains sold out of gold and silver in Italy. More lines form in Hong Kong and various other choke points. Everyone's trying to get their hands on silver, folks. I recommend building a relationship with someone or a company that has good ties into the market that will be able to help you out personally. Relationships will go a long way pretty soon. Well, the best place to build that relationship is Miles Franklin. Andy Schectman is the CEO, and Andy can find silver where nobody else can because he's so heavily, he's the guy, right? That's the guy. That's why the billionaire a couple of years ago, they bought $55 million worth of silver off of Andy, because nobody else could fill an order that big. 900,000 eagles, over 100,000 ounces in junk silver. Nobody else can do that, but Andy pulled it off in 2 days. Plus, they trust Andy with their money, and no other billionaire is going to trust their money with anyone, but Andy is that reputable, he's that trustable, and he can get the job done. He pulled off, there was 2 of those orders actually. He pulled it off in 2 days. That's very important. If you buy from Andy and you start to build this relationship with these people, I guarantee Miles Franklin's going to be one of the last companies standing that can still find silver where others can't. So if you start buying from them, you start to kind of get in, that's going to go a long way, I promise. Um, and if you want to sell back to them as well, they pay the highest prices of buybacks I've ever seen. Their logic is, well, why would we're going to pay, if we're going to buy your silver off you, we're going to pay a fair price because we're going to sell it at a profit anyway. So why would we try to chump change you? Why would we try to rip you off? You're our customer anyways. So we'll hook you up. We'll pay a great price. None of these other companies will. They're going to go under spot. They're going to try to lowball you. Miles Franklin doesn't do that. Trust me, I'm a broker. I did a lot of buybacks last year myself personally, and I was shocked at how obviously I would ask, someone else higher up or Andy himself, like what we're willing to offer. I could have said the price myself, but we pay very, very well buying back from our own clients because we're going to resell it at a profit anyway. So why would we rip you off like these other companies do? It's just a good company, folks. And I'm going to test personally because I single-handedly would do buybacks. So yeah, sorry for saying that, but there's a lot of new stackers. A lot of people don't know where to go. They're going to go to eBay or Craigslist or wherever. Build relationships, buy from Miles Franklin. info@milesfranklin.com. Let them know Slayer sent you. We have weekly gold, silver, and platinum specials. Yeah, it's very important. So anyways, so reports from independent market watchers indicate that the LBMA is under severe strain, with insiders describing panic as vaults run dangerously low on physical silver. Some commentators claim the LBMA member banks are urging institutional clients to refrain from new 1,000-ounce bar orders amid extreme shortages, soaring lease rates, and backlogs at refiners. London's physical silver market remains critically tight, with deliveries reportedly delayed and premiums surging. Yeah, they're trying to say, hey, folks, like, don't let us, don't let this facade get exposed. Let's try to keep this facade running. And you're gonna the prime, just like how I said before, actions speak louder than words. They can say what they want, but when you start seeing delayed orders, delayed deliveries, or forcing people to settle in cash, that speaks for itself. So yeah, now let's see what else is going on around the globe. So confirmed, JPMorgan is no longer shorting gold. It's been paid to do for decades. Jaime Diamond says it could run to 10,000. Another major new tailwind added. That's crazy. So Diamond, semi-rational to hold gold. Jaime Diamond says it makes some sense to own gold in today's market, though he won't say if it's overpriced. I mean, come on, like that's Jaime Diamond is he's so crooked, man. 2025, we already know this. We already know what happened. So India, epicenter of demand. We already know about London. If you don't know what's happening in London, go check out my recent videos. I'm not going to just repeat myself over and over again with this information. So this is interesting. The U.S., which relies on imports for 81% of its silver consumption, has seen U.S. Mint coin output plummet by 80% this year. And yeah, the U.S. Mint relies. They stopped in-house making eagles decades ago. Now they're reliant on like the Sunshine Mint to get their silver planchets, that's a whole separate crazy situation from the U.S. Mint, because the Treasury can't pay above spot price to pay for or to buy the silver planchets from these other mints, but other mints are able to pay above spot. So Sunshine Mint doesn't want to sell to the U.S. Mint because they would have to get a very low price, but we're legally not allowed to pay above spot price. So then there's a massive shortage on Eagles, and we can't. It's a lot. But anyways, the Royal Canadian Mint suspended large bar production, while Britain's Royal Mint restricts the ever-popular Britannia series. Wow. Andrew Slayer Sprott Money states, I've never seen Royal Canadian Mint sell out of 100-ounce silver bars ever. South Africa's Rand Refinery, a stalwart of the investment coin industry, halted silver crugrams. Premiums from North American to European dealers continue to rise, reflecting the reality that paper promises cannot substitute for physical bars or coins. All signals point to a synchronous global squeeze with industrial demand steady or rising, central banks not selling, available float of deliverable silvers falling to multi-decade lows. Right, it's just everything is coming down. Like everything that possibly could be happening, everything that possibly could be happening that's bullish for silver is happening. Right, look at this. Look at this line for people to buy gold in Hong Kong. And look at all these other shots. Like, look at this is crazy. Like, these don't even really look like silver stackers. Like, that's like a teenage girl. This guy is wearing a pink backpack. You wouldn't think these people are silver stackers, right? Like, this is insane. This looks like a tourist right here. Like, got all their luggage. So they probably went. Like, what in the world is going on, folks? What in the world is going on in the world? I don't know. But yeah, folks, that's what's happening right now. Silver at all-time highs, $53.52. Make sure you subscribe. I post 2 videos a day, noon and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard. I didn't post a video this morning. I guess, I try to do 2 videos a day. It's always going to be at least one. If I post, it's always going to be either noon or 6 p.m. or both. Usually 6 p.m. is always going to happen, but it's either noon or 6 p.m. So always look at those times, Eastern Standard, by the way. So anytime it's noon or 6, just go on YouTube, see if I posted, because one of those times I'm always going to post at least 1 video a day. And I promise it's current, up-to-date information that's important. It's not repeated information. Every video, there's something new that I talk about. I saw someone comment and said, why do you keep using clickbaity titles and repeat the same information? It's like, what are you watching? Every single video I post is very different than the last one. Like, there's nothing just repeat. Every single video, there's, new information that I'm talking about. And the title isn't clickbait, is when you blatantly lie on a title to get people to click it. Every single one of my titles have truth in it. I just learned as a YouTuber how to make the title catchy and interesting enough for people to want to click on it. There's an art to that. Clickbait is when you blatantly just lie. I don't clickbait. I learned how to hype the title up to make people want to click on it. As a YouTuber, you have to do that if you want people to watch your videos. I could just name it something boring, but why would I waste all the time out of my day doing that when I'm trying to get people to learn this information, to learn about silver stacking, to be able to preserve their wealth and save themselves from a collapsing dollar? Why wouldn't I want as many eyes as possible? You could call it clickbait. You're probably just jealous because this is my job and you're probably miserable working or whatever. Just like someone commented on his, the guy commented that, another guy commented under it like, bro, it's to get views. Like, the normal person that's not a hater sees that. I just learned how to explain something or make a title that's catchy. Sometimes I know I wish I didn't have to, but you have to nowadays. Like, YouTube has A/B testing, so I can make 3 different thumbnails with 3 different titles, and I post it, and then like in the next 3 hours, I can see what percentage is doing the best. And every single time, if I do like a more hype title, it's way more views. So why would I not do that, right? Would I purposely get, a third of the views, trying to do the loyal route, whatever. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna wrap this video up here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. There's a lot going on. Enjoy these high prices. Let me know if when you think silver's gonna hit $100. I'm curious. If you guys wanted to help my custody battle to my GoFundMe, I'd really appreciate it. You don't have to. Watching the videos more than enough, but the GoFundMe campaign is still live. The link will be in the description. I'm interviewing JPMorgan on the 23rd, Andy Sheckman soon as well, so stay tuned for that. I posted a thing where you can ask JPMorgan your own questions. It's a post I made, and I just mentioned like I'm talking to JPMorgan. Post your questions down below so you guys have an opportunity to ask him questions as well. So yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap this video up here. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Silver Slayer. I will see you guys tomorrow at noon. Peace.